Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Tuesday, July 21st. It is 6:28 right now. We got market opening up shortly in about 2 minutes. If you guys are looking to take the breakout, looks like the breakout is probably going to be for a buy. Yeah, looks like it's going to be for a buy. Just depends on how this candle closes prior. Not this one, but the next one. We'll see what happens in a second. The overall direction today is going to be neutral range, uh, slight upwards drift. Confidence is low to moderate. Trade quality is below average. We just gotta wait for some volatility here. There's not a lot of news here, so we'll kind of see what happens when the market actually opens up here. Yeah, I'm just looking at this right now. It's just market's been kind of slow. ATR is currently at 15. We'll see. But yeah, we got market opening up in about 20 seconds. If you guys are, again are looking to take the breakout, looks like it's going to be a buy. Um, but we'll see. We'll see in a second. We got about 15 seconds till market open. This has a huge red candle right here, so you might get manipulation to the downside and then correction back up. So right here, you can see it's starting to spike down a little bit. But I'm expecting the long-term direction to be bullish. And there we go, as price pushes up. But again, like I said, spiking back and forth. So, all right, let's see what happens here. Market is now open. Price is not really doing too much. I'll mark this up as the opening price. There we go with the breakout. Breakout is running up to the top. Not in the breakout, but we'll see. I'll just take this off. I don't want you guys to think I'm in it. Yeah, it's spiking back and forth. It's kind of doing what we talked about. Like I mentioned, today's probably going to be ranging, choppy, but upwards bias. We're currently in the overbought right here with the RSI. So price is pushing up right there as we speak. I think 40 points already got hit. Typically, I'm only going for like 40 points right now because the volatility is so low. So 40 points right there got hit. The trade is still technically running, not in the position. The ATR right now is currently 20, so very, very low ATR. The order flow is pretty massive, but it's normal for the opening candle. The opening candle had 1,323 contracts. This current one right here has about 300 contracts, so it's kind of died out a little bit. A bit of some chop here. Here's a clean chart. As you guys can see, I haven't drawn any new zones since I think last week. So price has kind of just been sitting within this area pretty much all week. Price is pushing up a little higher. We're currently at the Asia high right here, I believe. Yeah, so this is the Asia high right there. Price is kind of trapped right there at the Asia high. There's no liquidity around this area. Yeah, there's not too much. Let me turn on my liquidity. I can turn on the old liquidity to see where it is from yesterday. Actually, there is liquidity sitting up here. So I'll leave the liquidity open from prior day because lately we just haven't really been seeing too much liquidity there. So this is old liquidity from prior day. Lately, or for a while, I was only showing like liquidity from the date of like market open. But I'll leave this up because I like to see these levels here. These levels start to they act as like hot spots basically. So right now, basically, price is, I mean, it's kind of just spiking back and forth as you guys can see here. It's a big range within these two levels. It's doing what we expected. Let me go over here. I'll move this file over here so I can open it on my main chart. I'll just show you guys my pre-market briefing. Um, yeah, I mean, there's not really too much here to work with. It's kind of same situation we've been dealing with past couple of days. Uh, yeah, it's just been really choppy. Hey, Stephen, morning. Morning, Lila. I'll open up let's open this right here. Yeah, so we don't really have much. We have the bias for today is neutral range with a slight upwards drift. So it's going to range back and forth, but I'm expecting price to push to the upside if it does move directional. Um, I mean, this is the nearest resistance. This is the nearest support. Buy levels are going to happen above 52,326, sells below 52,174. So just looking at current price, basically if price drops below this buy side liquidity, look for sells. If price pushes above this sell side liquidity, look for buys, right? The obvious 326. Yeah, up here. So buys up here, sells down here. It's nothing crazy. Um, let's check the daily. I mean, everything's bullish. The daily candle is bullish. 4 hours slightly bullish. 1 hour slightly bullish. 30 minutes slightly bullish. 10 minutes bullish. 5 minutes bullish. 1 minute bullish. So obviously, I'm looking for buys here. So with that being the case, I'm going to be looking for buys if possible. But obviously, I'm being a little patient here with my entries. So price is pushing up right now. Like I said, my bias is for buy, so I'm looking for buys here. There's just no opportunities at this very moment. So if I do get some opportunity here, maybe I'll start looking for something. But at this very moment, there's just nothing there. I'm gonna be looking for an MPS V2, breakout V3, even like a break and retest off the liquidity levels. Or I mean, there's just a lot of different setups that we can look for. Market flow V2, stuff like that. The main thing I'm looking for is really these imbalances to kind of show up. I also don't want price to be overbought or sold, etc. So a couple confluences here. Yesterday we didn't have anything. Market was pretty much flat the entire session. We had a lot of setups that came up, but I mean they weren't clean setups, of course. So if I do see some setups here like market flow V2 or a break and retest off, buy side, sell side liquidity, I'll look. But as of now, you can see prices ping-ponging between this high side, which is the sell side liquidity, and the buy side down here, which is buy side liquidity. It's just ranging. You can see kind of better here on the clean chart, but I'm not really looking for anything until price pushes above this sell side liquidity. So we'll see. This candle right here is green. It currently has -9 delta. So this looks like a possible seller's trap. Problem with this right here is that we're kind of stuck around this area. This is an area of resistance, right? So every time price pushes up, it just bounces off this area. So I don't really want to trade within this area right here. I want price to break the structure, mitigate it, continue on up there. Ideally, that's what I'm looking for. But this could be a possible buy opportunity right here. So I'll mark it up for you guys if it closes. So I'm looking for this candle here to close green. If the candle closes green here, this could be a buy side opportunity. But I mean, right now the candle's red. We have 10 seconds left on it. So probably not going to happen. You guys can see the chop right here. Not really too much. Let me see if Trump has posted anything recently. He's been posting a lot. I mean, I've been on the Truth Social app just kind of. So this is what Trump just posted about 30 minutes ago. I mean, he posts weird stuff like yeah, he posts this Iran picture to stop killing us. Um, he posted this guy who got X guy. It's weird, really odd stuff that Trump posts. Um, it's crazy. If you guys look at this Trump social app. So basically, whenever Trump posts stuff, you could expect some sort of price spike. That's why I leave it open. I don't really care about what he posts, but I just watch it to see if he posts. Because if he posts something, it's going to be relevant, of course. Um, yeah, if you get triggered by a lot of conservative stuff, don't bother looking at his app because this his website's super conservative. If you look at the comments, it's crazy. It's like to see how people respond to this stuff. Like, let's see what people are saying to this. Where are the comments at? I'm just trying to read the comments, but I'm not trying to respond to it. But yeah, I've looked at the comments and it's crazy what people say on this app. It's like there's no filter here. These are all like super MAGA supporters. Which again, I don't care. People have their own opinions and stuff, but it's like they're in their own world, like on this app. But yeah, he hasn't posted anything yet. He posted this 30 minutes ago. He's probably going to post something again in the next 30 minutes. What I've noticed with his posts is that he posts in bunches, and then when he posts in bunches like that, the market starts to move kind of crazy for a little bit, and then it starts to balance out. I did see the news from this morning as well on BizTalk. So U.S. strikes Iran 10th straight night as Hormuz and Red Sea risks mount. So it's getting worse. You guys saw yesterday, U.S. troops were bombed in Jordan. There's like two U.S. Military personnel that died from it. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on with the war right now. And the market here is just flat. There's no catalyst. So a lot of people are just waiting for some sort of breaking news to come out. Volatility is 32. This is normal for a summer market, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, let's see. Gold is bearish. NQ is ranging just like ES and YM. Yeah, all of the main indices here, they're all just ranging. So ES is ranging, YM is ranging, NQ is ranging, gold is ranging. There's not a direction here at all. We don't have any entries here. We have an MPS V2 that looks like it's setting up. Not quite, but setting up there. Yeah, the volume right now is actually really low. I'm looking at the order flow. The candle sizes start to change a little bit when the volume's low. It's not super low, but it's lower than usual for this time period. So I'm looking over here. If price can get below this point, our bias is going to shift to a sell. Right now, it's still kind of mixed, but it is shifting to a sell. The 4 hour is now bearish, 1 hour is bearish, 30 minutes bearish. The daily is going to stay bullish for a while, but everything else is pretty much bearish for the most part at this very moment. So we might start looking for some sells here. Like I said, there's an MPS V2 that may set up on this candle right here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, this is an MPS V2 right here. There was no imbalance on it, so I'm not looking to jump into this position here. But there was a red candle right here, sell signal retracement confirmation. The pivots have confirmed right there. You can see the MPS V2 execution on this candle. So it's currently running in profit right now. The seller's already on this, so I don't want to jump into this. I look for the imbalance, right? So if you look over here at the order flow, this candle right there at 640, it had negative 66 delta. So there's a lot of sellers on this trade already. Looks like we're gonna hit full TP for 40 points right there. So if you guys jumped into that MPSV2 full TP, didn't meet my criteria because I was looking for the imbalance. I wouldn't even get in for the market order anyway. So it's like I'd be looking for the retracement. So that goes the first entry for today. It was just an MPSV2. Nothing else has came up yet. Lila said, can his wife please get him a sleeping pill, right? Let's say Steven is trying to make $200 a day. You could go for a 60-point target if you like. I'm using 40-point targets right now because the market's too slow. Wait, I mean, you could try to shoot for 60. iPhone's asking on the 50K Apex account. Yes, 3 contracts is a little too much. It's a little high. I mean, it depends on what your stop loss is, but on a 50K, I mean, if you're in a 40-20, it's possible because your stop loss is going to be a lot tighter, but there's going to be slippage. Last week, there was a ton of slippage. So, I had a 30-point stop loss. I got stopped out at like 60, so I lost like double. So if you're using 3 contracts, it's a big risk. Um, I mean, it's doable though. It's not impossible, but you do the math. So if you're doing 3 times 5 times 30, that's 450. Your max loss is 2,500 divided by 450. I mean, it's not horrible. Actually, it depends on how many trades you take iPhone. So if you're just taking one trade, it's actually okay. But I usually try to take 2 trades per day. So it gives you 5.5 attempts. So you could have 5.5 losses. You factor in slippage, this is really turned down to maybe 3 or 4 losses. So the risk is high. It just depends on how many trades you decide to take. So 3 contracts is doable, but you put your account at risk to getting max drawdown if you get some slippage, which last week there was a lot of slippage because Trump was posting Monday, Tuesday about Iran and oil. So you really don't know when the slippage is going to happen. We didn't have slippage for a while, and then last week the slippage was extremely bad. So I would probably go with 2 contracts. And then maybe if you have some leeway, if you already made some profit, then okay, then push it up to 3. So that's just what I would do. But if you want to just do 3 straight out the gate, try to pass real quick, you can do that. That's actually what I would do. If the market's good and there's opportunities and you do see entries and ways to get in, I would do 3. But in this type of market that we're currently in right now, I'd be a little more cautious. I try to set aside 2 trades for the day. So if I lose one, I could take another one. I can make it right back. So I could at least close the day in green. But if you're taking 2 trades a day at 3 contracts, the risk is a little higher. All right, so this candle over here, actually these 2 candles right here have order flow imbalance. So this candle right here closed at 14. My entry probably would have happened closer to 30, but I wouldn't even trade it here. The reason I wouldn't really want to trade in this area is because we're oversold right now. If you can look at the RSI below, we're oversold. So this is probably due for some retracement at some point. I mean, this could very well push down lower, right? So if you want to get in, your entry would happen right there at the 30. But like I said, I'm not going to trade around this area because, and look at that, you would have stopped out. See this huge spike candle right here? That's why I don't trade at the oversold. This doesn't always happen where price spikes like that, but it does happen often. So whenever price is far down here, I don't take any sells. If price is far up here, I don't take any buys. It's just not worth the risk. And it came up over here, it swept level, and then it came right back down. So ideally, my entry would actually happen like way up here because I try to protect the sweep. So for example, if I wanted to get in here, it'd be at the 50 actually. See, because if I was up here, at least if price sweeps this sell side liquidity, I could survive it and then come back down. So there was no entry here to begin with. Like I need to have some sort of strategy for me to take the entry down there, like an MPS V2, a breakout V3, um, some sort of setup there. But there just isn't any setup. Just not any setup there. So if you guys remember my checklist, first I look for the bias. Right now the bias is currently bearish. So I confirm my bias, which is bearish right now because price is way down here. My strategy entry, that's where I have to look for some sort of strategy. And then after that, I look for order flow analysis. So unless I have all this stuff, I'm not taking any trades. Right now, there's no strategy entry, right? So that's why I'm not taking anything right now. If I get something good, like for example, if we get price to push up to this point, it sweeps the level, or even if it goes a little higher, whatever, maybe, we get a market flow V2, MPS V2, whatever it may be, some sort of strategy, and then I get an order flow imbalance, I'll start to look for opportunity there. Hey Josh. Josh said, hey Sean, hope as well. Do we look for the 1 minute daily after 640? If you're using the criteria that Daniel created, then yes, you would look for the first signal after 640. But if you want to take the first signal, it'd be this one right here, actually. So the first signal was here at 632. I look at both of them. This would be the daily momentum. Uh, let's see, the ATR is at 37. So, I mean, you would have gone stopped out on this here if you would have taken the daily momentum. But yes, if you want to use the settings that a lot of people have been using plus Daniel, like the one that Daniel created, which has a lot higher probability because it avoids this chop, right? I always try to avoid trades within the first 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, because this happens, right? It's a lot of chop. Um, and that's why 640 is like the standard. Yeah. I mean, it works a lot of it just depends on you, right? So this will work a lot of times, but also not work a lot of times. So it depends if you're able to stomach that risk um in the beginning. Because I've looked at it and it does hit. But you have to take like almost you have to take it every time because you can't just go between early and then late because then you're not going to have any balanced results. But if you follow just either after 40 or right at open, you should have positive results by taking it. It's just you have to be able to stomach the losses because there's going to be losses. Um, and what I would do is if it reaches a 2R, I would move your stop loss and profit to at least 1R or just get out at 2R. Because what we've seen a lot over the past couple weeks is it gets to like 2R and then it reverses. Because we don't, like you can see over here, it doesn't hold the direction for very long. It'll push for a while, then it'll create a range. You know, our whole bias for today was more of a range, a neutral range. So that's kind of what's happening here. You know, the pre-market brief showed that price was going to be in a neutral range. And that's literally what's happening here right now. Price will kind of sit up here for a little bit. It'll drop to the next level, sit here for a little bit, and then range back up. So yeah, I would probably wait until 640. I think that's probably the better option. So right here, this is actually going to be the daily momentum. As long as this candle isn't more than like 40 points or 38 points, which looks like it might be. Well, it depends. If you want to block it, then yeah, you would not take it, but actually looks like it's fine. The candle looked kind of big, but it's really not that big. So this here would be the daily momentum. Is that like 36 points, I believe? So I'll see what the 2R is. 36 times 2, 72. So I mean, this could be good. I mean, if it what might happen here is it might break and retest off of this buy side liquidity and then push up. My bias is for a sell right now though, so I mean I personally wouldn't be looking at this. The thing with the daily momentum that is that it's never going to be in the direction of the bias because it is a reversal strategy. Like right now, my 30 minutes bearish, 1 hour is bearish, 4 hours bearish, 1 hour daily is like huge wake up here. So for me personally, I'm not looking for buys here. I'm actually looking for sells. Yeah. So daily momentum didn't play out there. Yeah, it just executed. All right, so price is still dropping right here, guys. If it continues to drop lower, I'm going to keep looking for more opportunities for entry. We have a sell signal right here. I'm looking for the imbalance. Let's see. There's no imbalances right now. I'm looking at the order flow, or there actually was. There was an imbalance right here, but there was no entry. This could have been a market flow V2. There's actually an opportunity right here on this candle. Let me see where it's going to close at, the 20. So no, there's no strategy, or if the pivot closes. So if the momentum candle closes, this could be a possible setup for a sell. I'm trying to figure out where my entry would be at. It's going to be at the 30. And I don't like that it's so far below though. Or 40 actually. Let me try to do some math here real quick. I want to be able to survive any sweep of this sell side liquidity. So probably closer to the 40. I gotta watch it first. It's too late. This thing's pulling back way too hard. So this candle right here was red, but there was a bunch of buyers on it. So let me show you guys real quick. I was trying to get in right here at the 40, but it just happened too quick, so I wasn't able to even place my order there. I mean, if you wanted to wait even longer, you could wait till the 50, but the 40 was probably going to be the entry point. Yeah, I missed it. It happened too fast. So looking at the order flow over here, that candle had positive 20 delta. So this was a buyer's trap. The buyers are trying to buy off this London low right here, and they failed. So I'm not in this position right now, but this is kind of what I was looking for. Um, yeah, because this right here is a sell signal. This is a pivot scalp entry. So again, my bias was bearish. The 30-minute was red, 1 hour is red, 4 hours red. The daily is a huge wick on top. This right here, I was looking for retracement back up. So this candle closed at 13. When I was watching it, it was actually closing at like 20. So that's why right here, I was like, okay, I pulled it back from 20 to like 30 to 40 because I tried to wait for like a good pullback level. It's a good thing I didn't get into it though, because look at how this thing is moving. It's not moving very great. So it looks like it would have been a good skip here. But I would have gotten in at the 40 or the 50 if I had the opportunity. Either the 40, the 50 would be better, but with this type of market, I don't think this is probably the best area to be looking for entries anyways. Because we did have this session right here, area of manipulation. There's actually a flip. So let me show you guys real quick. This red candle right here, that was a buyer's trap. So let me show you guys over here. That was a buyer's trap because we had a what time was that candle? So 651, that became a buyer's trap right here. It was a plus 20 delta. And then this candle over here right next to it was a seller's trap. It's there was basically two traps in both ways. Red candle, but a bunch of buyers on that. And then right next to it, this was a green candle with a bunch of sellers on it. So they're basically fighting for this level right here at this London low. I don't like trading at these levels right here. If I was to trade, it would be somewhere up here. We are also in a ranging market. So with this ranging market here, I would try to trade at the extremes. So if I was taking sells, I try to take sells up at this resistance point. Or if I'm looking for buys, I would try to look for buys from down here. Um, yeah, so I'm not really looking for anything. I mean, I would have tried to get into that position there, but you can see I would have gotten stopped out. You guys can see it's just very choppy. There's no direction here. Price is very back and forth. Again, this goes just in line with what my pre-market briefing said, right? The bias for today was a neutral range with a slight upwards drift. So what I might wait for is I might wait for 7 o'clock. And then at 7 o'clock, we're going to get a new 30-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour candle. If we get that and price can push back up above the opening price, then I think I would be more comfortable taking buys up here versus taking sells down there because it does look like price is ready to push back up. I've been really cautious this week because last week we got kind of burned on a couple entries. Um, yeah, other than that, there's not really. Let me show you the MPSV2. Look how messy this thing was. So this thing did hit target, but look at what happened after it hit target. So price, the MPSV2 came up right here, sell signal retracement confirmation. It went straight to target, but as soon as it hit the target right there, look at how it shot. It just pretty much chopped up around this area. So not the best place to be looking for entries. That's the only entry that came up today so far. There's no breakout V3s here. The RSI momentum lost right there, and the daily momentum lost. Other than that, that's about it. So basically today's break even because this is a 2R, so this one won. The RSI momentum lost and the daily momentum lost. So we made a plus 2R here and then negative 1R on the other trades. I'll keep watching. There's just, like I said, there's not really much to work with here. This is how the market's been all week. There's no news today. That's why. So there's not really much of a catalyst. If you guys have been looking at the economic news for this week, this is not a busy week. There's not a lot of news at all this week. There's like little news events. There's jobless claims tomorrow, new home sales, building permits on Friday. Today we had ADP employment change weekly. The real catalyst here is just going to be Trump. Whenever Trump says anything, it's going to push price. But I haven't really taken any trades here today or yesterday. Yesterday was actually a lot smoother versus today. I mean, you guys can see this is a very big chop. Here's a clean chart. Chop up here, push down, chop up here, and then push right back up. The reason I'm waiting for it to push back up is because for my daily brief, we're looking for that slight upwards drift. I'm going to try to ride that up if possible. So we got a buy signal right here. There's a lot of imbalances happening, but they're not as clean. All right, let's see. Still haven't taken anything this week, guys. We're just waiting for my opportunity. Um, I mean, we knew this was going to be a slower week. The turmoil in Iran, though, is just it's really throwing off the market because it's not throwing off the market with like price spikes, but it's throwing off the market because people are scared to jump in. I feel like a lot of people are worried about any breaking news that may come out, so my market kind of just stays flat a lot of times. Eventually, there's like a big push up or a big push down. It just depends on like what Trump ends up saying. So I keep looking at the Trump social app to see if he's updated anything here. I've got notifications on my phone, so if he does say something, it'll let me know. Let's see. Trump hasn't he hasn't posted in an hour, so I'm expecting him to post something pretty soon. All right, the 7 o'clock candle is about to close in about 20 seconds, guys. Again, like I said, at the 7 o'clock candle, we're going to have a new 30-minute, 1 hour, and 4 hour candle. So our threshold for buys and sells are going to change. Um, I think it's going to stay pretty consistent though. So I'm probably going to look for buys above the opening price up here. And then I'll look for sells probably somewhere down here. Yeah, below the 180. I think that's a good midpoint. Or I might shift it. I mean, I don't know. I'll leave it here for right now. Or I'll put it at the 150. I like the whole numbers. Okay, so I'm looking for sells below here, and I'm looking for buys above the opening price. Right now, we currently have an MPS V2 just came up right here on this candle. Buy signal retracement confirmation on this candle with the trend. There's no imbalance on it, so I'm not looking to jump in. Like I said, my criteria, I'm looking for a bias, then I'm looking for a strategy, then I'm looking for order flow imbalance. Right here, the the bias hasn't shifted yet. You can see over here it's pretty flat. 30-minute candle's flat, 1 hour candle's flat, 4 hour candle's flat. The daily candle is still bullish, so I'm still looking for a possible push to the upside. But again, I'm looking for buys somewhere above here. So I'm not necessarily looking for any trades within this middle area. This is kind of a dead zone for me. Yeah, it's a little bit of a dead zone right now. The order flow is really trash today. No consistency. Here, let me show you guys the order flow real quick so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So the order flow over here, there's no consistency, right? It's like bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bullish, bearish, balance, bearish. Everything is in chop. Uh, the volume is a little mixed too. You can see over here, the volume should be higher right now, but you can see it's like started to drop. Yeah, we're below 200 volume right now. Buyers are trying to hard to push price up. Okay, so we do have some imbalances right here now. Show you guys real quick. So we have an MPS V2 which is currently running. It's probably going to hit target pretty soon. So this is, yeah, MPS V2 already hit 40 points right there. If you guys decided to jump in for that, the 60 points is almost there. Here's the MPS V2. It's running right there. It entered on the 7 o'clock candle. There was some imbalance here, but I wouldn't be able to get in because they didn't retrace far enough. So I'm looking at the 7 o'clock candle. This candle was green. It had a -5 delta. Yeah, this thing's gonna hit right there. 60 points already hit full TP. So if you guys caught that MPS V2, both of the MPS V2s today hit full TPs. They didn't meet my criteria. Well, they sort of met my criteria on this candle right here, but never pulled back far enough. So this candle closed at 225. My entry would happen at 220. Probably not 220, closer to 210. Price never pull back here. I'm using limit orders for my entries. I'm not using market orders because I keep getting hit with slippage. But yeah, this right here at 210 is where my entry would have been placed. No fill. And then this right here had another imbalance. There's no pullback. So 735, my entry would be at 720 right here, or 220. There was no retracement to get my fill. But let me just show you guys real quick. So this candle right here at 7 o'clock. So see how there was a negative imbalance? 7 o'clock, -5 delta. This showed that the sellers were getting trapped. It was a seller's trap. Same with the 701. My pre-market briefing is very, very, very spot on. You can see over here, it said that there was going to be an upwards drift. It was going to go neutral range into an upwards drift, and that's literally what happened today. Unfortunately, there just wasn't a setup for me to take right here. These higher highs where the stop losses were sitting for the sellers, they just got stopped out. So right here, there's some massive delta. So like a huge stop hunt right here. They just got stopped. If you look at the order flow, again, the order flow is positive 96. So a bunch of sellers just got stopped out right there. And then even more right here at 703, 103 delta. So these aren't buyers jumping into the market. These are the sellers getting stopped out. Price pushed up. This higher high right here is a resistance point. Basically free liquidity right there. Price came through, blasted right through it. So ideally, I mean, this would have been a nice entry if I could have gotten into it, but it just didn't meet my criteria. I was looking for buys above the opening price, and this thing just blasted right through. Yeah, it just wasn't, it didn't meet my criteria right there. So if you guys took any of those trades, great work. Looking at the MPS V2s over here, the MPS V2 has been on fire lately. So the first one over here for a sell, full TP, 60 points. Second one over here for a buy, full TP, 60 points as well. So if you've automated my strategies, you should be net positive. Um, I know if you guys have looked, see just updating the bot right now. I'm waiting for him to update the bot before I start running it for like the best settings. But I did run my own settings that I have here, just the basic settings, and it's profitable. I mean, it's good. It's just I've started using the order flow analysis on top, so it's just not providing me opportunities for entry here, of course. Now we're currently over here at this resistance point again. I hate trading around these areas where we're like near the sessions. What I'm going to look for here is a possible opportunity for entry. So I'm going to look for price to sweep this buy side liquidity and then push back up higher. I'm going to be looking for that order flow imbalance. I mean, we don't have it yet, but I'm looking for it. This candle right here is balanced. It has +3 delta. Actually, this is an imbalance right here. This is a buyer's trap. So price might be coming down a little lower. This candle was red. The delta on that was +3. So this is a buyer's trap right now. The buyers are trying to hold this level, but they're getting prices pushing the opposite way. This candle right here has a -11 delta. Let me see how it closes. This candle it's back to positive, so never mind, it's balanced. So if this candle right here had a negative delta, I would have looked to take my entry. It would have been somewhere around, I'd look for it to sweep this, but it's not going to be the case here because the obvious. Yeah. This is a buyer's trap right here, right now, guys. If this candle closes red, this is a buyer's trap. I think price is going to drop a little bit lower. I actually want it to be a buyer's trap because I want this to start to move uneven. I want it to get imbalanced. All right, so never mind. This candle right here closed green. The delta right there was +9. So this is where I was looking for the buyer's trap. I was looking for the buyers to hold the level, but I wanted the candles to close red. So again, right here, this candle here is red, but it has -16 delta. So this is showing that the sellers are advantaged right now. You can see the side that's winning are the sellers. The sellers are pushing price. I'm going to keep watching for my opportunity here. I am in a bullish bias now. If you look over here, 30 minutes bullish, 1 hour's bullish, 4 hours bullish, 10-minute, 5-minute, 1 minute, all bullish, daily candle, very bullish. So I'm looking for a buy here, of course. I do need to see this imbalance, so I want price to kind of pull back a little further, maybe down to this level down here, this lower buy side liquidity, maybe closer to the opening price. I'm going to look for price to get imbalanced around here. If it can get imbalanced, I'm going to start to look for my opportunity. If this candle at the last second turns green, there's a strong imbalance here because there's a lot of sellers right here. -18 delta. So this is balanced. The candle's red, it has -18 delta. That shows that the sellers are in advantage right now. They're pushing price down, plus there are sellers in the market. So again, I'm looking for that imbalance. I'm looking for the sellers to get trapped, and then I'm looking for price to push up. Right? I want the institutions to push price up. I want the retail to get trapped below. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for them to get trapped right here so I can ride this back up higher. This candle right here is green. The order flow is currently positive 16 delta, so this is balanced. I mean, I don't want to ride it when it's balanced. I don't want to be with retail. I want to go against them. So when retail is pushing down and institutions are pushing up, I want to push up with the institutions. Vice versa, if price is pushing down and the retail is pushing price up, I want to do the opposite. But right now they're balanced. So this candle right here, this is another stop loss hunt that's happening. The reason why I say that is because the delta is currently at 37. This is an outlier. See this big number here? It went from like 3, 9, 18, 38. These weren't buyers jumping into the market. This was the sellers here getting stopped out. Because if you were entering a sell fear, if you identify this as resistance, right? And this is why I don't like trading mean reversion. You know, a lot of people like to trade support and resistance. That's great. It's a strategy, right? It works. But I personally don't like it is because when you try to trade something like that, you're basically providing liquidity to the people who are trading in the direction of the trend or the bias. Because whoever was taking the sell here, they thought this was resistance. They took a sell point right here. Where's their stop loss at? At the swing high, right? And where did they get stopped out? At the swing high. This candle right here was huge, and that had a positive 38 delta. So I don't like doing that. Um, I like trading against them. So if retail is trying to push price down, I want to go opposite. I want to take their liquidity. We've talked about this over the past couple months. It's like chess, right? You have to think two steps ahead. You got to think about who's trading opposite of you. Is retail trading opposite of you, or the institutions trading opposite of you? I want to be trading opposite of retail, not institutions, because the institutions have power to push price. Uh, like that's why I'm looking for these imbalances here, because when you see the number opposite, like for example, if you see this number is negative, but you see the candle is green, that shows you that there's a bigger power behind it. It's not retail, right? It's not on the books. It's these institutions trading in the dark pool. Um, yeah, like when I put orders in the market right now, my orders don't always show on the book because sometimes I trade I mask my position. Like I'll put a position in and it'll show that I'm entering with one contract, but I'm really entering with like 100 contracts. So that's what a lot of institutions do. They don't like to show their hand. Sometimes they like showing their hand because they like to lure in people. Like they'll show that they're putting in 100 contracts and they'll flip it the other way just so people want to jump in. Um, but yeah, this is only level two. So this is level two order book data. It only shows you basically what the retail is doing. It doesn't show you what the institutions are doing unless they want to show you what they're doing, which most of the time they don't. And that's why I look for these imbalances, right? A lot of people don't know how to read the order book. Um, or they don't understand why the order book is negative, but price is still pushing up, why the order book's positive and price is pushing down. Right now, the session delta is currently positive, so overall direction is bullish. Um, there's a lot of tricks, guys. There's a lot of tricks. It doesn't matter if you're just trading technicals, if you're trading order flow, or if you're trading, you're reading the tape, whatever it may be. There's a ton of different ways to trade, but if you understand how like different ways work and different aspects of analysis, you can kind of use it to your advantage. Like for me, I'm still using technicals for my strategies, right? For my momentum strategies, but I'm using the order flow to identify, prime entry. So like this entry could have very well not have worked, but it aligned with the order flow, right? So again, right here, I'm looking for the same thing. I'm looking for there to be some sort of imbalance. These candles here are not imbalanced. This candle right here is green, it has positive 15 delta. This right here is a little imbalanced. This candle was red, it had positive 2 delta. This candle is green, it had positive 22 delta. This red candle over here had negative 20 delta. So this shows that the retail is on the side of price movement. Um, I know a lot of you guys have been asking if I can teach you guys order flow. I haven't taught in a while, but it interests me because I feel like a lot of you guys don't understand how it works or like how to really analyze it, like how I'm analyzing it. And at some point in the future, yeah, if I have some free time, maybe I'll start mentoring again one-on-one. It's just I don't have time for it, guys, honestly. I would love to teach you guys, but I really don't have time for it. Uh, I mean, you guys know Alina's a handful and it doesn't get any easier. I thought it'd get easier, but it doesn't. She just becomes more active and mobile, and it's honestly a little scary. Like this girl, she's fast. She's super fast, and it's hard for me to like do stuff or work. and also keep an eye on her. So yeah, I mean that's life. She's really fast. Yeah, Lila, it's crazy. Like when she trades with me sometimes, I'll have her in my office, but she's on the opposite side of my office whenever I look. And she's grabbing stuff and she's trying to touch stuff. I need to baby-proof my office. I think that's the first thing. Once I baby-proof my office, then I can start to kind of let her roam around. But this girl's touching everything. She's climbing and she's walking, and it doesn't get any easier. But yeah, all right. So we got nothing here right now, guys. Price is just sitting sideways. If you guys just listen to my analysis, you guys can kind of understand what I'm doing, right? If you guys have the bot, you guys can use this basic order flow analysis to kind of understand what I'm explaining to you guys. The thing is, I don't just use one thing. My main thing is really the strategy. The order flow is just the confluence. I know a lot of people try to use order flows like their main thing. It works for the most part, but for me, from my experience, you need to add other things to it because the order flow is not always going to be consistent. This candle right here, so these two candles are both green, right? You guys can see this candle was green at 713. The order flow was positive, plus 28. Again, this is a balanced market. I don't like trading in a balanced market. I want there to be some sort of imbalance. So in order for me to take a trade here, I need to see sellers get trapped or I need to see buyers get trapped. Either way, there's no entry for me to take here at the moment. You guys can see prices starting to push to the upside. Um, the pre-market brief is pretty spot on, guys. So we already identified this earlier before market opened. We already knew price was going to be in a neutral range and it was going to push upward. And that's literally what happened, right? We're in a neutral range right here. Price range, push down, range, and then it pushed upwards. Pretty spot on. Let me see if there was any other criteria here. And if you guys are wondering how I got this, I use Claude. So I use Claude to do this, but I feed it the data. So you can't ask Claude to do something for you because it can't pull the data for you. I pull all the actual data for my analysis and I put it into Claude. And then that's why it gives me this analysis, like this more deeper analysis right here. Um, if you guys are curious what kind of data I feed Claude, I actually created another indicator that gives me the data. So I have all the data right here. It provides me the previous open high close, previous overnight high low close, prior week high low, prior month high low, and then the VWAP prices. So I created this through Claude too. I mean, if you guys don't know how to use AI, it's very, very useful if you guys um if you know what you're looking for. So you have to know exactly what you're looking for. I wouldn't say use AI to give you ideas because it's going to give you really generalized stuff. For me, this works because I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for specific price levels and stuff like that to provide me this analysis here, right? And I'll try to share this with you guys every morning. It just takes a while for it to come up. It takes like maybe not a long time, maybe like 2 to 5 minutes for me to produce this pre-market briefing, but I just use this to kind of give me an idea of like where to look for trades. Not really look for trades, but look for the direction of price and whatever the bias should be if it aligns with my actual trades. So yeah, I'm doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, guys. You know, it seems like I'm not really doing much, but I actually am. I've been doing a lot of research on AI, trying to improve our analysis, you know, stuff that that can help us. Um, And yeah, that pre-market briefing does help a lot because it gives us a pretty detailed and there's strategies here to follow too, but I don't trust these as much because this is based off technicals. So yeah, there are like trigger levels. You know, we talked about the buys above 326, the sells below 174. There's some reversal zones, continuation zones. The thing is, price has been above 326 for like a while now. So obviously, I'm looking for buys up here. All right, guys, this is an imbalance here that's starting to set up. Okay, so this was an imbalance right here. It's negative 14 delta. Let me see if I can get a possible entry point. Um, so not 60. 50 could work, but I think I'd probably go lower to 40. So if you guys want to enter a position here, I mean, 50 could possibly work. I'm going to keep following it. I don't like the fact that price here is flat. The ATR is at 35. The volume is very low, but there is an imbalance here. So this candle was green. It had a negative 14 delta. Let's see, 52,350. I like the fact that I mean, it's probably going to push right through. I was hoping it would retrace back a little bit, fill my order, push up, and then stop out these. There's like sellers right here, obviously. If there's anybody who's selling this, their stop losses are sitting right there. If we get a big blast right here and a big order flow to the upside, then that's because they're going on a stop loss hunt. All right, so let's see, 350. Let me see if I could watch it, and I might place my pending order there. I'm just gonna watch it for a second. I'm not gonna place my order yet because I don't know if price is even pull back at all. If it pulls back, great. But from what I can see right here, it's just stuck in this chop. So I might have to wait until later in the session. All right, I haven't placed anything yet, but I'm watching. I don't like that it's super flat like this. It's 719 right now, so we're getting closer to 720. Yeah, I don't like this dead market, guys. So 350 would be like kind of risky because it's kind of close. 340 would probably be better. This would be a market flow V2 entry. This price would pull back to these pivots, look for that bounce in between the pivots, and then continuation up higher. The 40 would be more ideal, but it might not pull back that far to get the fill. We're getting close to that 50 point. Volatility is a little low. This candle right here has 125 volume on it. Not in it yet, but I'm watching. The 40 might be better actually. Oh man, it got filled already. The 50. See, I'm looking at the order flow right now. Let me see if it flips. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna pull back to 40. Let me see. So I haven't put my order in yet, but I'm watching it, like I said. No, this is a buyer's trap now. Okay, I'm not going to get into it. I was really tempted to get in right here at the 40, but this candle's red. It has 16 delta. I'm going to try to wait for it to pull back a little further, maybe closer to like, because I'm looking for it to sweep a level. That's really what I'm looking for. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't get into it. I mean, it could very well push up. The 40 is running, but this would have been close to my stop. See how my stop is really tight? Ideally, when I try to get into these entries, I want to have it where I can protect the buy side liquidity. Because if it does come down here and sweep this level, I want to be able to survive that sweep. You know, the better case scenario would be somewhere like down here, maybe like 320. Yeah, 320 would probably be like the safe spot for entry. But the one up there is running. So like if you got in at the 340, I mean it's running in profit. It's just my stop is tight. If I was doing 60-30, it'd be a different story because I have more space there. But I'm doing a 40-20, so I have to be very spot on with my entry. That's why I try to pull it back further and further and further as far as I can go. But yeah, I just didn't really feel super comfortable with this chop. If this wasn't chopping, it'd be a different story. Like if this was pushing up and just retracing a little bit and pushing up and retracing, then great. But the thing is, we're chopping up around this area. My stop is super tight. Damn, the 40 got hit. So if you guys took that, nice work. If you guys didn't, it's all good. They're gonna get stopped out right there. It's gonna blast right through and hit target. I can already see it. There's a lot of liquidity just hanging out right here. So if it can push past the target right here, it's probably gonna blast out to like 40, 60 maybe. Yeah, see, this is what I was worried about. I was gonna get in right there, but I was worried that because it's in this chop, we're just gonna be stuck in this position forever. I don't like trading in chops. That's fine. The volatility will pick up closer to 40, so I'm gonna wait for this to hit. I do think it will hit if you guys are in the position. Okay, this is gonna hit, yeah. Because I'm looking at this now, there was another imbalance. This is a buy signal, so this is a pivot scalp entry, and this had a -9 delta. So I do think this will push up further. It's just it's just really slow. This is what I was talking about with you guys yesterday. This is why I switched to 40-20. Because imagine if you're going for 60 points. Like it barely can reach 40. It's not even there yet, but it can barely reach 40. And what happens a lot of times, this is what has been pissing me off for the past week, is we have a 60-point target. It'll get like really close, like just like a point away, and then it'll reverse back down. And I end up moving my stop loss and profit, and I end up getting like a ton of slippage. I mean, if you want to get in late, guys, there's another opportunity right here, actually. So 70, I would say 60 would be your entry. If you want to go deeper, 50, but 60 could work. No, I mean, the 60 could work. This would protect it in case it sweeps this buy side liquidity, which it probably will. It'll probably come down, sweep this level, and then maybe push back up. But again, I don't like this chop here, guys. This thing's so slow. Like, yeah, this trade will probably hit, but it's gonna take some time. These candles are really small. The ATR is dropping. It was like at like 36 earlier. It's now down to 30. So the 40 points, I do think that it will hit from that first entry. There you go, full TP on that first one. You guys can see it's getting swept. So this, I said there's liquidity sitting right here at this higher high. They swept that level. And there's an MPS V2 here now. So there's a lot of entries that are running alongside each other right now. There was this right here, which was a market flow V2. This was a pivot scalp. And then now there's an MPS V2. And the other entry right here at the 60 is currently running. Like I said, I don't like the fact that price here is stuck in this chop. This is why I kind of held off on it, although I did feel I was tempted to jump into it. There's a lot of different entry opportunities at the 340 and then right here at the 360 because there's two different strategies running alongside. There's now an MPS V2 that is currently running. There was no order flow imbalance, so I did not want to jump in on that. 726 right now. So what I'm probably going to look for is for price to maybe pull back a little bit, maybe sweep this level and then push back up higher. Man, I just don't like this chop. I've been burnt too many times being stuck in this chop. So here's a clean chart. You can see a little better. Yeah, I've just been burned a little too much with with taking trades at the chop, and we're at the high extreme of it right now. So like I said, if I'm taking buys here, I want to take buys down here because I want to take the extreme lows, right? I want price to come down, and then I want to take the extreme lows so I could pretty much get the best possible price. Um, we're currently at the resistance point, so nothing right there right now. We're a little too high. It's just a little too high right now. I mean, this could very well hit, but I am not going to take that risk being at that high point. If I'm going to take a buy, it's going to be somewhere down here. Unless we break out of this range. If we could break out of this consolidation range, then I'll start looking for some buys up here. If it can hold above here, but if not, I'm gonna look for it to retrace back down. And there we go, it's pushing through. The sellers are starting to get stopped out right here. I can see the order flow is starting to pick up. This most recent candle had uh, positive 18 delta, and this current one has positive 15. Oh, man. See how hard is it for it to reach 40 points? This is what stresses me out because I'm like, we're going for a very small target, 40 points, and it still takes like 5, 10 minutes for it to hit. That's why like I'm very cautious about these entries. The entries are hitting, but you have to have that trade psychology to really to hold on to it long enough for it to hit. The problem is we get close to the 40 points, I move my stop loss and profit, and then I'm get screwed. And this has kind of been the recurring theme for the past week or two. It's just a lot of annoyance. Yeah, look at that trade still running. So although this trade is doing well, I personally wouldn't want to be stressed out about it. This is probably going to hit. The order flow is really bullish. The problem here is that I don't know if it's gonna see. The thing is, like, I don't want the retail to be on on your side already. Right now, this trade's been running for about 5, 6 minutes, and the retail is already on it. So I look for the imbalance, and then I try to get in early. But right now, the retail is really heavy on it. This is going to hit target where it should. This has about 43 delta on it. So the stops are getting filled right now. All the sellers are getting stopped out. This is a stop loss hunt on this candle. 60 delta on that. There you go, full TP. If you guys caught that, great work. It took a long time for it to hit, longer than usual, but you guys can see right there the stop hunt. So whenever you see the big number, if it's like above like 30, 40, then it's usually a stop loss hunt. It's not buyers jumping in, it's just a stop, the sellers getting stopped out. Okay, so great work right there. If you guys took any of those trades, the MPS V2 is technically still running right now, guys. So the MPS V2 has been on fire today. First one over here hit for a sell. This one over here hit for a buy. Third one over here is still currently running. The volume is just really, really low right now, so there's not a lot of opportunity for entry. Um, I'll keep watching. I mean, I'm still looking for my entry here. I just don't like trading in this choppy market. I'm waiting for this here to kind of flatten out. And I'll look if I find another discounted price, I'll let you guys know. But at this point, I mean, we'll see if the volume picks up. Usually the volume starts to pick up closer to 740. So the last 20 minutes of my session, usually volume will pick up a little bit. I can't say for sure, but ideally, that's kind of where we see it to pick up a bit. All right, price is pushing up. This one actually has well, I don't know if I want to get in on this, but this has a very strong imbalance. Candles green, negative 35 delta. The sellers are trying really hard to hold this level right here. Let me see where my discounted entry would be. So this closed at 403. It'd be at 390. So if you guys really want to get into a buy right here, this would be your discounted price. I actually would go lower to like 380. But if you want to get in at 390, there's a possibility right there. There's a huge imbalance on that candle. This candle was green. It had negative 28 delta. So this is a big seller's trap right there. So like I said, you could get in from the 90. I would probably get in at the 80 because I'd look for a market flow V2 entry here or type entry. So let me see, 380. I mean, even lower, maybe 370, but 380 could work. Yeah, let's see, I'll watch it. Yeah, 370 could be a good price, but okay, the sellers are like really holding price down right now. So I'm gonna wait for it. If it flips back above here, maybe I'll get into it. But like I said, the 70 would probably be the more ideal entry point. There's just a lot of sellers that are trying to hold this level up here. There's negative 28 delta on this, negative 52 delta. This candle right here has negative 6 delta, so the sellers are getting weak. Let's see. Try to see where it's at. I'm looking at the order flow right now. Yeah, I think it's too late. No, I don't like the fact that there's a lot of sellers here right now, like a lot of sellers. It's been negative 28, negative 52, negative 14, and this one's also going to be negative, it looks like. Yeah, I missed the entry right there at the 70. I'll watch it right here. See, the thing is, I was waiting closer to 740 because I wanted the volume to pick up, but it looks like the volume is going to start to pick up a little earlier. Yeah, that 740 or 7. Yeah, the 370 right there. That would have been the perfect entry point. I mean, the 80 could have worked too, but now price is too high. So right here, this is if this could reach this level right here, it's going to stop them all out and it's going to break out to the upside. It's going to go for that stop loss hunt again. But yeah, the 70 right here is what I was trying to get in from. Man, it's like frustrating because it happens so quick. I need to find a quicker way to put in these limit orders. I might have to just leave the DOM open. It's all right. I'll watch for it. If it pulls back again, I'll try to get in at the 70. But yeah, that was a pretty crazy imbalance right there. So this candle right here, this at 731, that had a negative 20 imbalance. And then the sellers pushed price really hard to hold that level down. And they held right here and then they failed. Now the buyers push price up. Now it's too late. So I try to get in right when the imbalance happens. This is where the entry point would have happened, 731. And then I try to get in at the discount. So 370. I mean, at this point, I'm like, man, maybe it was good that I sat out on it. We're still in chop. Okay, so I'm not gonna get into it now. I'm gonna stick to where I was aiming for, 740. Yeah, maybe it's a good thing I didn't get into. I was really close to jumping into that position right there. But like I said, we're still in this chop. And I want to try to get in as close to this level as possible. Because like I mentioned before, I want to trade at the extremes, right? So extreme lows are going to be down here. Okay, so I don't regret getting into that position right there. I was really close to jumping into that one, but I need to get at these extreme lows. This is just too high. It's too high, and we're in this chop right now. Where price is just going back and forth. Like I said, if we're pushing high and we were continuing up, it'd be a different story. If we're just climbing up, then great. I'll enter at every retracement, right? But the thing is, we weren't climbing up right here. We're still stuck in this chop. So thankfully, my intuition kind of prevented me from getting into that position there. Otherwise, if I was really focused on like getting in on any position there, I would have gotten in at that 70. All right. And again, this is why I'm using limit orders, guys. Before I would get in with market and I would get in like I get shitty price every time because I get a ton of slippage. So the limit order is kind of it's making me entering these trades slower, but it also gives me a second chance to think about the position before jumping in. We're now getting back to this buy side liquidity. Like I said before, I'm looking for some sort of strategy for me to get in from. We didn't really have a strategy up here, to be honest. Like it was just I was getting antsy. Like I was starting to get FOMO because I was missing all these trades right here and I wanted to jump into something, but there wasn't any actual strategy there. The MPSV2 already ran through, market flow ran through. Now right here, we can get a possible sweep off this buy side liquidity. So I would look for this to sweep this level. And then again, I'm going to look for a possible order flow imbalance. The sellers are really holding price down right now. So right here, negative 20 delta, negative 38, negative 14. Price is starting to dump really heavy, negative 30 delta. So what I want to see here is I want to see these buy side liquidities get swept. Um, okay, this is gonna be a little bit of an issue here because the 30-minute is now very bearish. 52, 393. Oh no, this is super high. Yeah, this is gonna be a little bit of a problem because I was looking for buys up here. I mean, bias might shift now. We're still in this big range though, so this is a big range right here. It's a fucking black market. Okay, so my bias is there's a little bit of a problem here. It's not a big problem, but it's a little bit of a problem. Because the 30-minute candle here is bearish, 1 hour is bullish, 4 hours bullish, daily is bullish. So like overall direction still looks very bullish for the current time. But the 30-minute, you guys can see this candle here doesn't look so great. It's basically filling the gap on the previous huge green candle. There's a big green candle here between 7 o'clock to 7:30. Now this is a 7:30 candle. So what might happen here is two different things. And you can see it happen over here too. Whenever you get a big candle like this, it either retraces and reverses, or what happens sometimes is it will retrace and then continue up. So what might happen here is it might get to the midpoint and then bounce right back up, right? There's just a couple of different scenarios there. The problem is this candle is super red, so you don't exactly want to go against it unless you see some sort of strong imbalance there. All right, so we're getting an imbalance. Well, not an imbalance, but it's getting a sweep. We're now at 740. This is going to be my time to start looking for entries because the volume is starting to pick up. You can see over here, market was kind of dead. We get closer to 740. The market is now starting to pick up. It drops a little bit, picks back up, maybe drop more, doesn't matter, but we're getting some volatility here. So this candle has positive 22 delta. So this is a possible sweep of this buy side liquidity. The problem here, okay, so we have a bit of a problem here is that we have sell side liquidity above and we have buy side liquidity below. So this here is now going to create a possible ping pong range between this area. But there's liquidity sitting on both ends. So if price can sweep this level and push up, then great. You know, it's going to have free liquidity up here. Vice versa, if price decides to keep dropping. So right now it's stopping out all the buyers. Basically, the people who bought from this level right here, they're getting stopped out, right? This is why I like to have my stop somewhere around this point, or I like to watch for the sweep. Because people who are entering buys right here, say for example, place their stop right here at this higher high, right? This candle right here is now stopping all up. It's stopping out all the buyers. The candle's red, and look at the delta. It's currently negative 72. So again, these aren't sellers jumping into the market. These are stop losses getting filled. That's why, like I said before, you know, you have to kind of look ahead to kind of see where people are getting stopped out. So now that I know that people are getting stopped out right here, what do you think happens when people get stopped out? You got to think in the mind of a retail trader. If they're getting stopped out and we have these revenge traders, right? Or you have these people who are trying to jump back in, they double dip. So they get stopped out and they buy right back into the position and they push price right back up. That's why I'm looking for that sweep. If I can see the sweep here and I see the buyers regain control, I'm going to be looking for price to climb back up and sweep these levels. And then there's going to be stop losses hanging out around here. So that'd be like your target area, right? I'm looking for price to push back up, provide me a buy entry, take this buy to the upside, and then ride it back up. So I'm looking for a sweep. The buyers got stopped out. Then I want to see the buyers step back in. I like when I see this right here, right? Like this candle right here, big red candle, it stopped out the buyers, negative 79 delta. This is why it's kind of easy to see when these stuff happen because the number is very obvious. Like this is normal, plus 13, plus 14, negative 16, negative 20. We see a negative 79, you're like, okay, that's a stop loss hunt. These people just got stopped out. Same with this over here, right? Plus 59, these people got stopped out on the buy side or on the sell side. So right here, I'm looking for this to flip. I'm like, okay, this is a key area to look at. how is price going to react to this level? Are the buyers going to regain control, or are the sellers going to hold price down and then we reach this next level down here, right? So, all right, we got the sweep happening right here. If I see an imbalance, I'm going to be looking for my entry. So I'm still looking for buys. I know I was looking for buys up here, but I may be able to take buys a little lower. So this is now where I'm starting to pay attention to see any order flow imbalance. All right, we got a pending buy signal right here. The order flow is +7. I want to see sellers try to hold price down. I want to see sellers hold price down. Okay, the imbalance might be coming up on this candle right here, guys. This candle has got to close strong green. If it closed strong green, this could be a possible imbalance. It's a -4 delta, -14 delta. So this candle's got to close green. If the candle closes green, then my entry is going to happen around 310 right here. Or we'll see. 30. So either around 320 or 310 is where the entry is going to be at. Yeah, like right here. Because I want to get in at the extreme. Remember, we talked about this. This is the extreme lows. The candle has to close green, though. Candle did not close green, so there was no imbalance there. The candle closed red, and that provided for a -23 delta. So there's no imbalance there. If that candle would have closed green, it would show the seller's trap. So it showed that the sellers are trying to hold price down, but the candle was green, so it showed that the institutional is pushing price up. But there's no institutional push up. It's just flat. There might be another one here. So again, I'm going to be watching. This candle is currently -15 delta. So if this candle ends up closing green for whatever, if closed green at the last second, this could be the imbalance that I'm looking for. I'm looking for an institutional push up, and I'm looking for the sellers to get trapped. Because the sellers are going to try to hold this level here, right? They want to hold this London low or London high, and they want to hold the sell side liquidity. So these candles are getting really small, but I'm looking for there to be an imbalance between the institutional movement and the retail side. Okay, there's nothing there. So this stuff makes sense. These candles are red, delta's negative, right? That makes sense. There's no imbalance there. The sellers are pushing price down and price is actually coming down. So again, I'm just waiting. Price here now is at like 310. So my entry is no longer going to be there. It's going to be lower, closer to 300. Or maybe even below that 200, 290. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. So price is sitting right here at the buy side liquidity. There's no imbalance. There's an MPS V2 that's pending here. So if price ends up pushing up, this can be MPS V2 setup. But I'm also looking for the imbalance here. So if this candle closes green, which it might, yeah, the 300 looks like it might be the good discounted entry price point. Okay, so this right now, this is balance. This candle right here was green, but the delta was 0. So there was no imbalance there. The volume is very low, 92 contracts. Damn, this market is dead. This is like super, super dead. I don't know why it's so flat right now. Usually the picks up a little bit towards the end. Trump say anything? Nope. Trump has not posted anything in an hour. There's no breaking news. I mean, this thing just might stay flat. Who knows? Yeah, this thing is super flat. I mean, it's flatter than before. Usually it picks up around here, but it's not. Damn, look at that big volatility push. Man, that was what I was trying to catch right there. Wow, look at that push right there. I was trying to get it at 300, but never pulled back down here far enough for me to catch that. Look at that big push. That would have been a great straight to target right there, breakout. All right, well, F me then. There goes the move that we were looking for, guys. I was just waiting for that imbalance. I mean, there's going to be an imbalance on this candle here. There's a lot of sellers trying to hold price. 400 contracts. This is massive candle right here. Something must have been reported. No. There had to be something that reported that caused that 400 contract spike. All right, well, there's an imbalance right here. If you guys want to get in, let's see. I mean, it's fucking too late now. I was trying to get in right here at the 300 and I pulled back far enough. All right, so 54.40 would be the first level of entry. If you want to dig deeper, 330. So I'm gonna watch here as price maybe pulls back, um, sweep this buy side liquidity, and then push back up higher. I'm gonna try to get in at some point. I mean, I don't know when it'll happen, but there's a lot of imbalances happening here right now. This candle was green, it had a negative 10 imbalance. So there's the seller's trap. The sellers are trying to hold price down. This candle right here has negative 19 delta. So 50 might be the price point. I mean, I think 50 is too close, but if you guys want to get in at 50, that's your first level. 40 could be the next one right here. Because I want to, if price comes down and sweeps this buy side liquidity, I want to have some space. I mean, I might even go even lower to like 30. But the problem is, so here's where you take the risk. You go down to the 30, you might not get the fill. You go down to the 40, you might get in too early. So I'm going to watch it here. I think the 40 could be a good price point. I'm going to see how price reacts to it. And I'm going to see the delta right now. The delta is currently negative 64. So there's a lot of sellers right here right now. This is what I'm going to be a little concerned about because if it drops lower, I can get in for an even lower discount at instead of 340, I'm going to try to get in at 330. I'm watching it right now. I'm watching the order flow because I want to see the order flow if it starts to flip. I just want to see the seller start to slow down. If they don't slow down, then I'm gonna wait until it goes lower to 30. So the sellers are still pushing price down. I think 30 might be a better price. I mean, if it drops even lower, like I'd rather get in at the 300, but I'm gonna watch it. I'm watching the order flow. The order flow is still very heavy, guys. Negative 35 delta. So it's not slowing down yet. But if you want to get in at the 30, now it's starting to slow down a little bit. Not a lot, but it's slowing down a little bit. I mean, you might even be able to get in at the 20. We'll see. No, sellers are still holding price down, negative 10 delta. I'm waiting for these sellers to start to weaken. So I'm watching the order flow right now, and I'm just inching down to the next whole number, which is going to be 20. Ideally, I want to get it down here. Like I said, I want to get in at the extremes. So the extreme lows, which would be down here, closer to the 300. The sellers are still holding price. Let's see. Let me show you guys the order flow. So negative 10, negative 16, negative 62, negative 32, negative 24. I'm looking for the sellers to slow down. So I want to see this to start to flip. Like I want to see a delta flip to turn a little bullish or to just get a little flat so that I can get in for my buy. Um, They haven't slowed down yet. It's still pushing. 310. It's next level. This has negative 15 delta on it. It still hasn't slowed down yet. I mean, the 300 might be the price point, guys. The whole number right there. Yeah, they're not slowing down right now. Negative 42 delta. I wouldn't get in yet. So 300 again. We're at the whole number now. Let me see. We're really close to it. No, the sellers are they're not stopping. It's currently still negative 20 delta. All right, I'm gonna hold off right now. Maybe get closer to like even below three, the whole number. Yeah, the sellers are really holding price down. You can see over here negative. It's the numbers are getting stronger actually. So negative 17, negative 10, negative 16, 62, 32, 24, 29. This current candle has 24 on it. So they're slowing down a little bit, but not very much. Um, okay, they're slowing down a little bit here. So it's down to negative 13. I'm looking for a flip in delta, or I'm looking for it to kind of show. Basically, I'm looking for a green candle. If I could see a green candle over here, I think it might be time for entry because I'm looking for the imbalance. There goes a green candle right there. So 300 might be the price level. I mean, 290 would make more sense. So yeah, 290. I don't know if it'll pull back this far. Let's see. This would be perfect because if price comes down and sweeps this level right here, we have a lower low. There's a lot of liquidity sitting here. So if price breaks out this way, it can sweep the level and come right back up. Candle still red right there. All right, there's an imbalance here, guys. Or no, there isn't. Sorry. It's a buyer's trap. Slight buyer's trap right there. So if you guys really want to get in here, 300 or 290, those like going to be the areas to look for. It's a buy side liquidity, basically a triple bottom right here. Hard rejection again right here. This is the 300 and this is the 290. I'll draw a line right here. Ideally, I'd look for the 290. Damn, the sellers are trying really hard to hold this level. That's crazy. So let me show you guys the order flow again. The buyers try to hold this level right here. They're starting to get stopped out. So like I said, the 290 is probably better. I want to basically what I'd like to do is protect this level right here. I'm still looking for this to flip back up, but the sellers here, they're not giving up. Okay, this had a negative 28 delta on it. 757 right now, guys. I mean, this thing might just flip to a sell. This candle right here had a positive 18 delta as a buyer's trap. Entry would have probably been closer to like 320, which never retraced back to that point. All right, I think the buys might be done here, guys. We'll see if it holds or if we see another imbalance. Okay, so this could be an imbalance. Green candle, negative 11 delta, 290 right there. The candle would have to close green though. Mm, it's too weak. No green candle. Oh man, we're starting to get that push right there. Let's check the other assets right now. Everything is choppy, guys. NQ, ES, YM, gold, everything's pretty choppy right now. So yeah, look at that right there. So that 290, I was really inching to see the slowdown, but there just wasn't enough slowdown there for me to want to jump in. But yeah, we dropped down from like 300 down to the 290. I was looking at the order flow. I just wouldn't, I mean, the volume here is crazy. 54 volume, below 100 volume. So this is like, there's not enough volume. Like, even if you were to get into a position, you'd probably be stuck holding on to this for like the next 20 minutes or so. Uh, it's another slow day, guys, unfortunately. This is another slow day for us. I don't see any entries here that I can really jump into. I was really trying to catch the bottom here, which we finally got to the bottom, but it didn't look good enough for us to jump in. Um, yeah, the imbalance there is just it didn't provide for opportunity. There might be another one here though. So, but this thing's just too slow. The ATR is at 21, guys. It's a very slow market. I don't even look for trades below 20 ATR, and we're getting to that below point. Um, yeah, it's it's been a pretty crappy week with regard to price action, technical analysis, just normal consistency in the market. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I tried to get into this point here, but there was no confirmation. There's no ability there. There's an imbalance on this candle though. So this candle is green. The delta is currently negative 11. Okay, there's an imbalance right here. So if you really want to get in at some point right here, you can. Again, I'd look for the retracement at the extreme, which would be 300 would be the clean entry. 300 or 290. I would like to touch these like whole numbers, of course. That's where I like to put my entries. Um, yeah, there's an imbalance. So this candle right here was green. It had a negative 11 delta. So that's a seller's trap. That shows that the sellers are getting stuck. The problem here is there's not enough volume. You could get into this position, but expect to hold on to it for a long time because there's nobody in the market right now. Typically, I like to look for above 200 volume. You guys can see the volume is below 100. This is extremely slow. Like this is like Asia session slow. That's how slow it is, or even slower. So, you know, I would say take these trades at your own risk. If you want to jump in here and you feel really comfortable about price pushing it back up, then 300 could be your price point. If you want to get in a little lower, you can get in at 290. 290 would have been prime, but even if you got in at 290, you'd still be stuck in this position right now. So 290 and then 300 would be a little higher right here. But again, the sellers are really trying hard to hold price down. The delta here has been negative for like the past 30 minutes. This current candle has negative 19 delta. It's stuck in this chop range. Yeah, it's a little crappy market, but it is what it is. All right. If there's questions, guys, feel free to hop into the chat. It is 8:02 right now, so it's outside my trading hours. Sometimes I try to take trades closer to 8, but like I said, there just wasn't any volatility here or direction. So I usually try to look for trades here around 7:40. You guys can see there's not much movement here. It's been kind of dead. Um, Let me check the algo to see like, you know, so I'm looking at this right here. I'm looking at these trade windows. Messi just updated this stuff a lot, which is really cool. Um, Trying to see like where the profit factor is the highest. So let's see, 6:30 should be 9:30 Eastern. Yeah, I mean the sweet spot right here is around basically with the time that we're trading. 9:30 to 11. Yeah. So this is a sweet spot right here. Basically, the last 5 minutes, there is a prop factor kind of jumps, but we just didn't have any entries there. The 300 almost got, or the 290 almost got filled right there. The 300 is currently running, but the 290, you can see right here, we got really close to it for it to retest that level, but it didn't actually go that far. It got down to the 300. Um, yeah, I don't see anything here. Trump just posted. Let me see what he posted. All right, Trump just posted on Truth Social. What did he say? Refresh this. Of course. Blame immigration chaos on Biden and Harris, not Trump. So Trump just posted that right now. Posted about permanent daylight savings. All right, well, Trump didn't post anything crazy. Okay, this is probably one of the bigger ones. He announced nearly 10 billion in defense industrial-based investments in Pennsylvania. So this is probably something that could affect the market a little bit. Other than that, he's just kind of blaming people for stuff again. All right. So with that being the case, guys, there's no movement here. ATR is at 20. Like I said, this is a threshold. If it reaches 20, I wouldn't recommend taking any positions at all. Looking at the order flow, the volume is very low. It's below 100. It's not worth the risk, guys. So I'm gonna wrap this up. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, today was a pretty decent day if you're just following normal strategies. The MPS had two wins and two losses, it looks like. So it's up 2R for the day. And it looks like if you guys got in here at the 290, it's finally about to hit. Yeah, the 290 right there just got hit. Hey, Lena. Hey, Lena wants to say hi to you guys real quick before we get off. Let's turn this off. Yeah. All right, Lena, where are you at? Hi, big girl. It was Lena real quick. Yeah, guys. So I'm looking over here. The 290 just got hit. And if you guys got in at the 300, looks like that's finally going to get hit pretty soon, too. The sellers are still trying really hard to hold price. There's a lot of imbalances right here for the buyer for buying power. You can see it's negative delta here. So whenever you see a green candle, that's an imbalance. That means it's the sellers are getting trapped and you have ability for it to push up. The only problem here, again, that we just talked about is there's not enough volume. So you could be in the correct direction with the institutional movement, but the problem is there's not enough volume. So you might get chopped out. That's why I say if you want to take buys here, you got to take it at the extremes, right? At these very, very low points. Because if you get in the middle and it pulls back, you're probably going to get stopped out before it reaches your target. You can be correct with the direction, but if your stop is super tight, like mine's 20 points, you can easily get stopped out before it reaches your target. So just try to get in at the lowest point possible. Like I said, you had two levels here, 300 and 290 to get in from. But all right, guys, I think that's going to be it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, not a great trading day, guys. Very choppy. No entries for me today. Hopefully tomorrow will be a lot smoother, but I don't know. We'll see. We don't really have much news for tomorrow. Yeah, there's no catalyst tomorrow. The catalyst is going to be on Thursday. We have jobs data, and then on Friday we have new homes data. All right, Lena's ready for her walk. So, all right, guys, I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the next live session.